Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, obviously you got there and managed to play a game in the end. You must be delighted to. Yeah, I've come away with 3 points and still a chance to avoid the wooden spoon.
Yeah, no, it was good to finally get the game underway. To be honest, there are a lot of postponements and a lot of things changing, but we're getting used to that now. So yeah, no, it was okay. It took us a bit to warm into the game, but and to be honest, probably conceded the last goal because we were pushing for another one for goal difference. But that just shows how hungry the girls are to want to try and get off the bottom of the table. That even when they were kind of 3-1 up, they're straight away they were saying, let's get another one, like let's get the 3 goal difference to try and take us off the bottom. So yeah, it might have led to us conceding one because we got a bit stretched, but I think the positive mentality from them is actually quite cool to see.
Yeah, how disappointed were you with the start to have conceded after just 2 minutes?
Yeah, like pretty disappointed, but to be honest, like we've had a big turnaround between games. So I just think that we started like the whole probably like the first 20 minutes, even longer. We just like building into the game a little bit. So I think we just got like caught short on that first 2 minutes where we just started quite slow. And then we kind of built into the game a little bit more. And we're lucky enough to, like, as the momentum grew, kind of nick one before half time. So I felt okay about it. And at half time, I even spoke to them and I felt like the momentum was going to shift and we were going to carry on building because it felt like we started to grow into the game a lot more. And yeah, I think that kind of longer turnaround of postponing on Sunday and having more days without a game just meant we were a little bit slow to start.
Yeah, and I guess Kate showed the benefits of hanging around after a free kick if you're a centre back. She showed a pretty good finish for a centre back there. Yeah,
definitely. She's always hungry for goals. So anytime she can bomb up the field or anytime she can hang around from a corner, she'll try and stay there as long as she can, or from a free kick. So she's she's when in training she actually scores a lot of goals from set plays. So I'm really glad that she was able to get one here.
Yeah, and did you feel like that goal gave you a lot of momentum? Because we were able to kind of watch a stream, which I was grateful for. But it seemed like it was probably like a relatively flat out. Oh, I thought kind of after that first goal they scored, but once Kate scored, it seemed like the momentum really swung in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I thought we were quite, like I said, quite flat in that first half. It was really quiet out there. It was quite, quite quiet and quite slow, which is really unusual for us. So yeah, I felt like we were a bit sluggish in that first half, but it definitely showed that kind of we kind of settled on the ball a little bit and nicked that one, and then I think that kind of, I guess, got the confidence back and realized that we still got another half to play where we can kind of push forward. So it was actually one game where it was well timed for us to score at that point in the game to really kind of take the sting out of them and then shift momentum for us.
Yeah, and of all the goals the team scored this season, is Ava's the pick of them, do you think?
It was a pretty good finish, wasn't it? She's been like, she's been grinding away and wanting a goal like that. So I'm glad that she ended up getting one of those. It was a pretty class finish.
Yeah, and I guess with Grace's goal, the fact that Wanderers scored a late one as well in the end, that was a pretty crucial one that she managed to get.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, to be honest, the last one that Wanderers got was probably because we were getting a bit stretched when we were still trying to score, where I think most teams would be happy with a 3-1. But I know the girls definitely had worked out that they needed 3 goals difference to be able to jump above Western Sydney on the table. So once we got to 3-1, I think they got hungry for a fourth. And then that just got us a little bit stretched. And I was quite lucky that we didn't have that much time left in the game, to be honest.
Yeah. How do you feel in terms of where you're at heading into that final game, with the possibility of trying to avoid the wooden spoon? Because, I guess they've got the tougher game against Melbourne City. So was it 1 or 2 goals that can change things, pretty quickly. So, yeah, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I feel good. I feel bad about the 2-day turnaround. But at the same time, where the girls love playing and they love playing the game. So we'll do what we can and we'll be ready for it. But I think it's a good matchup. Like, I felt like we should have got a result against Perth last time, and it was again, like our lack of discipline in the last 10 minutes that kind of cost us. So it'll be hopefully really good. Perth are on a really good run at the moment in terms of like, they've been building and improving as well. So I think it's going to be a really good game. And I think they're trying to still get a sniff at the finals. So they've definitely got a lot to play for as well. We're trying to get off the bottom of the table. They're trying to get into the top 4. So I think it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, and how much has like the weather and stuff and the disruptions been a challenge bit for you? And was the team any different to what it would have been if it had been played when was it meant to be, yesterday or whatever?
Yeah, to be honest, like by the time we kind of got in, like we arrived at the hotel and we were kind of delaying on naming the team because we were waiting to see how Kate was faring up. So to be honest, Kate probably got a couple more days to settle and bounce back, which was good for her. That probably helped us a little bit. But yeah, the team would have mostly been the same. It's been quite competitive lately, to be honest. The weather has been, I wouldn't think it was like I was in Australia. It wasn't really what I was expecting to be here at this time of year. But it's meant that it's been hard. Training venues have been hard to find. It's rained and flooded a lot, so it's definitely disrupted us. But again, like it's just the challenge to the girls and to us to just not let that sort of stuff affect the game. And I think it did in the first half. I think it disrupted us. I think we were slow and we were a bit rusty. So yeah, it just took a bit of time, but I'm glad we were able to. It probably wasn't our best performance, but I'm glad we were able to get the points. Yeah,
just a final one, because obviously the game wasn't able to be broadcast in New Zealand. Was there any option to move the game another day, or is it like a complete deal breaker for the team that you're going home next week on a certain day, and tonight was the only night that you play?
No, I think, like, to be honest, I think the APL were trying to do us a favor, because I think they they've assumed we've kind of have flight booked and we wanted to get home. We did have flights booked, but we were open to kind of moving them and playing next week. But that is like, it is a tough one. Like, girls have been prepared to go home. So to be honest, like, we're probably glad it got played now. They did try and shift it to be able to find broadcasting, because obviously our thing was we could have played here on Sunday with it not being broadcasted, and then it wouldn't have disrupted our schedule and we wouldn't have a 2-day turnaround now. But I know they were trying to facilitate it being broadcasted and also facilitate us being able to play this week so that we could get home. So I think there was like a lot of good intentions, but yeah, probably not could have been a bit more communication around if we did want to change it to next week or not. But like, to be honest, they were trying to do what was best for us, knowing that we'd been here for however many months and trying to get us home. So we do appreciate that. It means next game, Friday, is going to be tough. But also, like, the girls' mentality is like they know it's the last game, so they can kind of empty the tank and yeah, hopefully we'll put a good performance out.
That sounds good. Cool. That's all the questions I had. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, mate.
All good here too. Congrats.
Cheers, Andrew.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks a lot, Gemma. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Awesome. Sorry, it was from a car.